Welcome back to Bazaar. I'm Eco, and I finally got it. It has been like literally all month since Crude Tools has come out. I have never seen 3D printer. Finally got it. Turns out super broken. It's exactly as good as I thought it would be. Very happy with it. Just reducing the cooldown of one tech item by 4 seconds turns out to be a pretty strong thing to do. When that tech item is a self-scaling core like the ignition core with a scaling enchant like the shield enchant, things get really silly really quickly. The rest of the build also exists. Mostly the purpose of every other item in a build like that, though, is just to somehow speed up the build and maximize the resistance to slow and freeze, which is what the rest of the build is. But make no mistake, this build is pretty much entirely 3D printers, Crude Tools, and literally any self-scaling tech item as a win condition. It is super messed up, one of the most iconic combos of the current patch. Don't see it on the ladder that often, but it's still incredibly strong. I hope you enjoy seeing this menace come together. I was very happy with the build. It's exactly as broken and fun as I thought it would be. This should be my last game to get into Legend, provided I don't, play badly. And I'm feeling pretty good about small items these days because I've started forcing Ignition Core a lot, and it turns out if you want to play Ignition Core, then a bunch of small items are burn items. They're all pretty fast, and it works really, really well. Anyways, Induction E just burns, so we obviously buy that. We buy Crypto because it's net positive. I have bigger dreams than Granola Bar. I'm not going to purchase that. Gonna take Copper Red, he's good day one. Gonna take GPU, it's good later. Gonna take Hamlet because I may as well. He could be useful, he's probably not. I think I beat Viper. Think 3 poison will cause... actually, with his 2 poison Fang, I think I might die before Viper does. I would really like to take Viper for the extra gold and also the better loot. I don't really care for Inglet or Kimono much. I don't care for Kimono at all. Inglet's just like, it's got pelt, so it's got decent average gold value. But compared to Viper, I really need to think, do I beat Viper? I take the Bitcoin out of my board, and yes, now I know I beat Viper. Okay. I don't know why I forgot Hamlet was in my inventory. And for once, this isn't a fight where I need to skip the Sandstorm, because we actually deal damage, and this will end quickly one way or the other. But I will still take a moment to remind you that you can sub to the channel for more daily Bazaar content just like this. And if you can leave a like on the video, it really does help it get more traction, help the channel grow, and I really do appreciate it. And yeah, that's not even close. In fact, taking a look at this, let me hit recap. Hamlet only dealt 30, this only dealt 6. Copper Ed solos the Viper, he is the superior snake. Good to know. Not exactly what I'm looking for, but it's fine. We go middle looking for Micro Dave, I think. Or a rocket launcher. Both of those make me feel much better. Okay, having found the Micro Dave, I'm still willing to roll for rocket launcher or take Satcom on the second page. I did not find either. I might be willing to grab pulse rifle here. I don't have very many tech items. So having missed rocket launcher, that roll basically did nothing. I wasn't going to go to another store on the last hour pretty much no matter what I saw, having got the Micro Dave. My question is just whether or not pulse rifle is worth buying. I've got the one friend set up pretty easy. Like, if I buy this, then if I hit left or right-handed on my skill vendor, I'm good. And I can afford to buff up for Pip and roll. I'm going to do it. Just make sure that even if I miss burn or poison skills, I can take left or right-handed and have a good board. Not willing to settle for strength or poison. I won't burn. We're going to buff up Copper Red. We're going to roll. Well, that is right on the threshold of having to be considered, isn't it? Because Fiery is not that good right now. I probably still just take it. The alternative board is you drop this, you drop Hamlet, you put this in. Oh, I have Micro Dave. It's not going to work very well, is it? Yeah. Probably shouldn't have bought the pulse rifle in. I forgot Micro Dave was a friend for some reason. I don't know. I have a really easy time thinking of Copper, Ed, and Hamlet as friends. Micro Dave feels the most appliance and least friend-like. I guess because in reality, I can imagine a microwave programmed to have a smiley face on the front of it, right? This just feels like an appliance to me. All right, the pulse rifle's definitely not happening. We're going Fiery then. I think I was going to take Fiery anyway, but that definitely makes the decision a lot easier. Oh. Well, all right, hold up. As much as I do want to make Copper Ed faster and try to use burn here, I think Power Drill just hits really damn hard. All of these are status ailments. I think I'm more likely to win with the Power Drill. Like, Copper Ed's not burning them down quickly. These are some pretty terrible items. That was a very good random medium. Now, that said, if this Vanessa has a skill start or a shark claws, I am probably still not favored.
It makes this more fun.
Very wide, no shark claws, no skill. Enchanted start. Fiery grenade. If it crits, I'm dead. If that deals 14 burn instead of 7 and an additional 50 damage, it's over. Okay, we have a chance. We are not automatically dead. It is a seaweed though, which is a lot of scaling defenses, but the rest of his board kinda sucks. I'm not sure I beat this. Like, his board does nothing, but seaweed scaling might be all he needs. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I lose this. Bronze seaweed is just enough to beat the pile of garbage I've got, unfortunately. It's also single-handedly undoing Copperhead's whole existence, which is a bit rough. God, it was so close. It was actually the 5 region that was the difference. Oh, you hate to see it. Well, what can you do? The day 2 is where the future of this run's decided. I think I'm happy to take a pile of loot items here. I've kind of got like the really impactful medium items already. Still at 3 on crypto. I'm gonna take my loot items. Cinders are just kind of a big deal. Regen and crit chance are still good, and extra active Copperhead gets run for another day is still good. JJ's not a fantastic shop, and I quite like pick 1 of 2 skills. You can high roll insanely hard on this. 4% crit for everything, or better damage for a short while. I don't expect right-handed, or was that left-handed, to matter in the long run. But at the same time, it matters right now. If I end up going into weaponized core off of a miss on ignition core, it'll be really, really important. And 4% crit's just not the biggest deal. I think 4% crit's better on like day 10, but I think we need to care about right now much more. I'm good on cash. I don't have to click Covetous Thief. I'm clicking Giant Mosquito. I think Wing is good on every single core, and I think because we don't know we're getting Ignition Core, there's just a chance we see Proboscis. We're really happy. We miss Ignition Core, and we have Proboscis, so it makes sense to go into Weaponized now really, really well. The thing is that that's, like, it matters, but how likely is that? It's a 1 in 6 followed by a 2 out of 7 to get Proboscis and then miss Ignition Core, right? It can happen. And Wings are always good. That's the big reason to come here. It's good with every core. It helps me open up to other strategies. Do you just go to Curio because you're going to find a plasma grenade? Do you assume that? I'm down. It's not day 1. I've got the money. Rocket boots are awkward, but very good with the power drill. Still at 0. Didn't check it at the monster fight, so it might be my fault. I'm going to sell the gland. I'm going to buff the Copperhead. I think I want the rocket boots. I would need to drop Microdave if I were doing that today, like run rocket boots between Copperhead and Induction Aegis. That seems regrettable. I still want them. And I am willing to roll looking for the improvised bludgeon and the like, which I do miss. Am I willing to buy a knee brace? That's really bad with every self-scaling core, but knee brace is also very strong. If it were earlier in day 2, I might have bought the knee brace. But with only 1 hour left to see B1, B2, I'm not willing to self-sabotage for a bronze knee brace. Now, what do we have on this? We have the ignition core. And we haven't really found we need to justify going after a different core. Now, the question is, for me, is Microdave even better than speeding up the power drill? Probably. Like, I'm not convinced that that's even the way to go, right? Like, maybe you do this, scale the Microdave as well, you're hasting the small items. GPU is also just arguably better. I obviously don't want to be running Hamlet here, right? What's my last shop? It is not Barcoon. We're probably not even going to it. Also, we can put the crit chance on the ignition core as well. So this is the baseline assumption for the board before we get wacky. You just speed up the ignition core as much as you can, which also speeds up Microdave as much as you can, whom you're scaling. Rocket Boots is really, really good, not because I expect it to go on my board, because it makes a silver metronome into a gold metronome, which matters a ton when your combos aren't infinite. It's just hugely more haste. It's also just not that big of an investment to grab it, and it can be stupidly good. I don't think I'm going to put it on a GPU, but I do think I'm interested in having it for later. Power Drill seems to me like it would be worse than Microdave. It's day 2 and I have an ignition core. That's the main thing. If it weren't for Hamlet, maybe I would try it, right? If Hamlet were like any status ailment, I might be willing to try it. But Hamlet's a slow item that's not making ignition core very quick. I think this is my best board. I'm not quite well enough off. I will just get a burn on him, though. That could be a plasma grenade. Okay, let's reevaluate. It could also have been tons of other useful items like Firefly. Like, every burn item was all right with Ignition Core, right? So I have lost before to builds where they just threw a plasma grenade and I died because it was day 2, right? Like, this is a left-handed drill with a plasma grenade. I suspect that's enough. because we don't have that much health yet. And I'm not favored into Dooley without something really fast, because every weapon I score, every crit core, probably even every D core is favored into me. All right, D core being sped up without anything being charged is not as scary. Oh, Dino, this guy's the core. This guy's cooking. Who are you? Do I know you? I don't. But this is a really, really cool thing to start with. It's obviously not favored here. The plasma grenade just does so much work immediately. The core is only really that scary when you're charging a weapon with it. At least on day 2, obviously. It's crazy in the late game. But having taken Dino Disguise day 2 and the core, this guy's build is going to be so cool later. Assuming he ever finds the ANSR and didn't just spend like half of his day 2 gold on an item that never does anything. Which is how it tends to go for me. I think this is an easy B1, B2, the plasma grenade, right? The second ammo is a big deal. I'll sell this at 4 as well. Yeah, we gotta upgrade this thing.
I say, they don't make these like they used to.
All right, what are we looking at? Barcoon, and I have no small items to sell. Womp womp, not good. I can transform nothing, and I can get shield for my monster fight. It's day 3. I beat everything already except for hover bike hooligan. I'm trying to think what medium or large I would even care about, right? If it were day 5, I would go to Barcoon for a chance at 3D printer. On day 3, what am I really looking to cook with off Barcoon? Microdave and Power Drill are kind of the medium items I would want, but getting 2 more burn on Microdave, getting 1 second off the cooldown on Power Drill, I mean, that's more valuable to me than not doing it. Flamethrower is funny. Ignition core goes off before rocket launcher, and then this steals 12 burn. And it also gets the left-handed bonus, right? That's got to be better than Power Drill right now. I'm not willing to roll to upgrade Microdave or Power Drill. I don't really want to run either of these long term. Again, I had nothing to sell for a second. I panicked. We go Ether right every time. This is by far the best fight on day 3, unless you got your ticket from Boyer already. 1 in 7 at ticket, 1 in 7 at rigged. Sorry, 1 in 6 at ticket, 1 in 6 at rigged. 1 in 6 at 6 gold, and then if you completely miss, your lowest roll is still 2 gold, which is better than almost any other fight. I think every other fight on day 2 can roll a 1 gold drop, and Aetherite itself is gold for a 4 gold reward. You have to like specifically be digging for Snowstorm, which you usually can't enable yet, and in most builds isn't as good as rigged anyway, and the ticket's better than either of them. Middle, I just went to you. Your name was Barcoon a second ago. I don't really have a ton of space in my stash, so chocolates feel pretty bad. I could make the room, right? I'm an ignition core build. The extra health is pretty valuable. I could see myself selling a drill plus pulse rifle. I don't think drill's particularly terrible. I think with the second ammo on the plasma grenade, maybe even drill's the right play. Yeah, this does get a lot better with the second ammo. And I'm gonna level up and have room, so I'd want to sell Microdave, I think. So I can sell Microdave pulse rifle and then buy 5 gold chocolate bars, or I could take 4 gold. It's a 15 gold swing to get these chocolate bars, man. There's still a really substantial amount of health. I believe 600 is level 4. If I see Aerodrome, thanks game. If I see Aerodrome on the next page, I won't be able to buy it specifically because I took chocolate bars. I'm gonna be greedy here. And it is very greedy, make no mistake. Now, what's the rest of this? What do I upgrade? Probably just the GPU. More haste on the core is a big deal. I'm probably not planning to run the drill or the rocket launcher for very long at all. Maybe the rocket launcher sticks around for a couple days. I really can't see that happening with the drill. 1 more second of haste on the GPU is genuinely pretty important. Maybe right now a bronze skill would be better, but in the future it would be notably less impactful. I could just get a sharpening stone, but it's like 50-50 bronze silver today. I'm gonna go to JJ, look for things better than the drill in the future. Get another crypto, just keep investing. I kind of want to grab first aid, and Hamlet's just decently fast with the plasma grenade. First aid and kind of allows me to swap him out. I mean, the induction Aegis does kind of suck. I would rather run the first aid in. Now, Hamlet upgrades do tend to just not matter at all. So I'm going to leave him on the table. In my eyes, there's almost no difference in a bronze Hamlet and a diamond Hamlet. Right, it's a pig. I feel pretty reasonably favored. I would expect to blow him up with plasma grenade power drill before he can scale very meaningfully. There's a money tree. How big is it though? 48, we're fine. Obsidian pet rock. I wonder how that happened. Pit FD is a little bit scary because it scales the money tree, but I think we should just be fine, yeah. Plasma grenade goes off, drill kills him. Yep. This drill thing is really, really good. Plasma grenade plus drill, fantastic for like the first 4 days, probably. It doesn't just kill your opponent after day 5, though. So we might be switching out today. We might be switching out tomorrow. Hard to say. Either way, I'm very happy to go to Kina. Firefly with a plasma grenade is just typically very, very good. Omega Ray is also very, very good. This is at 5. That makes the room. Drill's probably done then. We got the metronome. Microdave definitely isn't happening. We're buying that metronome. They also have a weak point detector, which is just very fast with plasma grenade. Let me start looking at how all this plays out, right? Because there's a lot of shit going on now. So the awkward thing is I want the red Firefly adjacent to the plasma grenade, the metronome, and the Omega Ray, right? I obviously can't do all of them. So what I would do instead is put my fastest item next to the metronome to haste the plasma grenade instead. And then this is my best item for triggers on the Firefly, and I need Firefly adjacent to Omega Ray. And we are rocket bootsing this metronome every time. We don't have to do it just yet. What's our last card? Probably just Hamlet because it's fast, man. And we need something benefiting from right-handed anyway. I think this is almost certainly the board. Let's go into the rest of the day, though. I don't think weak point detector really makes a ton of sense here. It's day 5. That means no gold atomic clock, no scrap metal. Pretty much broken up with medium items at this point, right? Don't really care about them unless they're from Curio. Gonna take a small shield item. Not a lot of things I can hit that I care about, but metal just can't help the build. And I still don't need to sell rocket boots yet, just in case I can sell it at Midsworth later. And this is again going to be an easy hellbilly. We don't have a ticket yet. Trying to think if there's any argument that instead of hasting first Aiden, I should be hasting the GPU. I kind of think there is, right? Because the GPU guaranteed hasting the core is probably the best haste target, right? So first Aiden is healing me, but I would rather control where the haste goes. And yeah, that felt really strong. That felt incredible. So I'm going to move this over. I'm going to toss the pulse rifle. That's never happening. Grab the med kit. I'm happy to take Mountain Pass here. There's some very good like loot rewards and regen if you miss. And then the additional experience makes it easier to hit 10 on 8, which is a pretty important threshold, I find. It's also very hard to do without taking some early events. How? That does almost nothing. Now, I will note that charge the plasma grenade by 3 pretty immediately is kind of enticing. It's my only slow item. It will probably always be my only slow item. This should basically mean that right after it goes off the first time, it goes off the second time. To such a large degree that I wonder if I should even have the metronome on it, right? I can just take Righty Tidy and put the metronome somewhere else because both of these go off at 4 seconds. Later, I would run an Uzi. Righty Tidy actually sort of removes the need for metronome startup here. But then the second one would be delayed, which doesn't matter. No, you can get better stuff. Poison Shield's not quite the one I want. I'll take Creeping Chill, I suppose.
I hope we can do this again.
Tox Clocks is gonna be where we're going. What am I looking for? Probably just another ammo and plasma grenade. God, he's so helpful. What a good guy, this Tok fella. Now it's day 4, so I literally cannot hit scrap metal. Normally, part of the reason Tok is good is that he filters towards scrap metal. I've already got the second of haste on metronome. Let's go ahead and lock that in before I can mess it up somehow. And I'll go ahead and buff first aid and 2. All of this is sellable trash. I'm just waiting to get extra gold for it. I don't find that Thruster's Dino Saddle makes a ton of sense with Ignition Core, because I tend to have so many other passive items and so many small fast items that giving up 3 board slots feels kind of hard to do. But I also haven't won with Thruster's Dino Saddle, have I? I probably have. That probably happened in the Dino Dually spree at the start. I guess the other reason why I feel that way is Thrusters are a tech item, and generally when using a self-scaling core, I would rather be doing Crude Tools 3D printer things than Thrusters Dino Saddle things. And both require a gold untyped item, right? So why buy Thrusters when I could buy something much more interesting? Crude Tools is a cooldown item though, so I'll roll for it. Hey, got him.
I found some exhilarating speed for you.
Is the only tech item I'm currently running this GPU? Sorry to hear that, man. You're out of here. Crude Tools, get in here. That's a 6-second core now. GPU can be held for a long time. There's a chance with like battery and fiber optics that the GPU comes back in. But right now, the Crude Tools is clearly better. Now, do I want to spend 2 gold on 10 damage? I feel like I'm better on economy now than I was previously. We're going into the next day immediately. Not really a big fan of Solar Farm. I find that it's good. It's just having already used my rocket boots on like the previous page or something. There's no shot that it's right anymore. Miss Mycology. I like that name. Anyways, what are you up to? Tanky, Anky, how big are the dinosaurs? Baseline. You also have a bee that you put a battery on. I'm deeply confused. I mean, their specialty is mushrooms, not dinosaurs, so it sort of makes sense. I did assume we were winning, but Tanky Anky's obviously very good into burn. Yeah, actually wasn't even close despite the shield, because like the scaling here just isn't very good. It's only shielding from the Dino Solar and the Primal Core. I don't know what the bee with the battery's about, man. I guess they must have fought Kyber Commander a day early from Mountain Pass. I'm not even sure how else you'd get it. It's metal again. Well, she can sell scrap metal today. I'll spend 2 gold rolling for scrap metal overtaking. I don't know. Non-weapon item is literally almost every item I want to run in my build. Well, I got 1 gold. Technically, that's 3 gold up from going to middle and wasting my gold rolling and getting nothing. So I'll still... I don't even know if it's necessarily bad. Oh, that's very good. Dino Disguise is sort of not it for this build. Red button has no use. Yeah, let's move on. I wonder if there's still an argument to take Dino Disguise to metascale Hamlet because you have a Plasma Grenade. It's all of my cash, and I don't even really care about Hamlet, so it seems like it has to be wrong, but I don't know that that's true. Now, I'm going to take out Omega Ray, and I'm going to haste the memory card. I'm going to do it like this, so that I can try to get a little bit of extra value in this monster fight. Do I beat Scoville? Like, I do a lot of burn, but I also self-burn. I don't think I beat Scoville, especially not sandbagging, not taking out my gold Omega Ray. Well, if we give up 1 gold and go to Scoville, like the base gold value is 2 higher, so it's obviously better, right? Our burn output's really, really high. We have a bit of intermittent shield with Copper Red. I think we beat Scoville. If I'm wrong, I will suffer the rest of the run for it. God, he has a lot of health, doesn't he? Maybe I fucked up. Oh, no. And there's no Curio buffs on this, which would have also been a huge, huge deal for making sure I actually win. No, we're good. We're good. We're good. I was initially very worried about the 100% increase in health that he had, but I dealt so much more burn. Even after Peppers went off, I opened up almost 100 burn over them. So we take the extra experience, the extra gold. Very happy with that. Scrap metal, huh? What's this do? Nothing. Neat. I can sell it immediately then. Quixel wants large items, which I have none, but I mean, she sells everything I'm running, so it's hard to go to chocolate bars over this.
It's terrifying.
Battery, huh? So that gets into the Crude Tools versus Battery, the Plasma Grenade argument. I'm going to buy this. If I had gone to a Curio and found any slow increases, Plasma Grenade would absolutely be worth putting the battery on. At base duration, I am less convinced of this. It's also worth noting that battery breaks the adjacency lock for Firefly, where it cannot be in this position anymore. Not entirely true. I would just have to put all of them behind the core, which also sucks for different reasons, but it does give me more scaling. Anyways, I'm rolling because I really want some other small items here. These are not the other small items. Andy, what are you up to? I don't know if there's a difference in a silver and gold battery in my build. Because if I'm ever running a battery, right, it's either going on a Plasma Grenade or very small chance 3D printer. 3D printer is better off being hasted because it'll haste everything that comes out of the 3D printer, though. Like 4 seconds to charge a gold 3D printer at 5 for 1 second is just way worse than using the haste. I'm not convinced that battery from silver to gold does anything. Not just now, but ever. Like in different metas and in different builds, going higher tier on battery is great, but not here. I can just run another Ray because that gives me more activations of Omega Ray, but it's also slow and sucks. Yeah, every item here is really meaningfully contributing to speed other than Copper Red. Copper Red does sort of suck at this point, doesn't it? Every 7 seconds, scale the burn by 3 over here, as opposed to every 6 seconds, poison and shield. I don't know, man. I self-burn at the exact same time as Copper Red goes off, so he's a little bit better than it sounds like he would be. I'm just not convinced this really improves my build. That's the main thing, so why spend gold on it? Same thing with Hamlet. Like 2 gold to go up 10 damage, sure. 4 gold to go up 10 damage. I mean, I'm not Mr. Moneybags over here. Ignore my stash full of items I'm waiting to sell for extra gold. I don't think those are worth buying. I don't think they really meaningfully improve the build. They might be like very, very small gains, but them being the difference between winning and losing is incredibly unlikely. Whereas the difference in having that gold and not might be the difference in going to the temple or not. Fairly small Lang, bad crit chance, but a big life preserver and a depth charge with infinite ammo. I don't think that does anything. I think we just stack enough burn before this goes off that he's gonna die twice over, right? Also, there's no scaling on it, so it just feels like 30 poison and burn, yeah.
Got another salvo with me.
He's got like a different pieces for different cool things, right? He has the depth charge, he has a life preserver for tempo, he has a dragon whelp, he has a lang. He has a bunch of different things that could be builds individually or could be tempo and a better build. But instead he has like 3 different starts of a build with a tempo item and then no support for any of the builds. That dude is between builds in a bad way. We're 4-1, only lost on day 1. That's a great place to be. I can go to Ayla, pick up an Uzi maybe. That's one thing on the table. Maybe she sells me an obsidian item for direction. 2 gold to roll for those sorts of things is not bad. It's press. I don't really want to go into press, and I certainly don't want to spend all my gold on it, so no thank you. Gonna pass. Don't know what I was expecting. Maybe I could have considered claw arm to use it with Hamlet, right? I don't like that. That seems way worse than speeding up my current win condition. It's worth thinking about. Probably shouldn't have clicked off instantly. Nitro's kind of out of here because I'm running Crude Tools. So Larry, see the last time I posted the Ignition Core run, someone asked like, hey, at what point during the run did you realize that Nitro was a tech item? Was it like right after the run, during editing? And I was like, no, it was when you posted the comment. Nitro is generically good. It's fast, it burns, it's everything your build wants with an Ignition Core, just not with the Crude Tools. It is another ray, and like the previous one, it takes 7 seconds to go off. And since the thing I'm considering cutting for them is copper red, it is worth noting that I just passed on press and then immediately found remote, which is fairly funny, but we're not in that timeline. Nothing I care about from either of these, and I know I beat Lone Shark, so let's go fight Lone Shark. I said I know I beat Lone Shark. I mean, I'm gonna slow him for the full 3 seconds here, get all the benefit of that. He has no good shielding. He's gonna have like 1 burn tick out of every 12. It's not a big deal. If I lose this, I'll be astounded and deeply confused. Yeah, not even close to activating Shark Ray or Cash Cannon on the second time. Also, that looks like I would have lived through those activations anyway. He would need to hit me with Shark Claws afterwards. Nice, that is what we're here for, basically. Gonna toss the rocket launcher to make room, I guess. Grab the ATM. Upgrade a silver or lower tier item. Gee, I wonder in Ignition Core carry what item I might be considering upgrading. Oh, right, the whole build. That's it. Yeah. It's admittedly not quite as big a deal as it normally is because I have Gold Omega Ray way ahead of schedule, which is, you know, just kind of crazy. Midsworth. I just had to sell a medium item to beckon you. That's how it works. Right. A little bit unfortunate there. I did forget I had memory card. I probably could have... No, not against Lone Shark. I would not sandbag against Lone Shark. Even if I had, I probably would have gotten at most 1 gold from doing it. It's not worth the risk. So Soldering Gun is here, and I'm running Hamlet, right? That could free me up to position differently, use the Soldering Gun instead of the Firefly. Drop the Copper Red.
I hope that brat Quicksil was watching.
So I run this. This is a great source of burn scaling. It'll be scaled by the Ignition Core with the Omega Ray before it goes off. Unfortunately, there is no way to put First Aid in where I want him unless there's another item at 4 seconds, which there isn't, right? Yeah. Obviously, the thing I want to do is have Firefly going off non-stop by being between the Metronome and the Plasma Grenade, but it's just more important to speed up the Plasma Grenade than to speed up this guy. That's fine. I still think this is a really meaningful improvement over the build. Copper Red is the same speed as Soldering Gun, but instead of burning 3 times, it just goes off once for negligible amounts of poison and shield. That's definitely an improvement, even if the Firefly positioning is awkward. Huh. All right, Zerfin, what's up? I mean, you just see Petrifying Gaze, you click Petrifying Gaze, right? Why would I roll off of this? Value and crit chance on weapons doesn't seem like a big deal by comparison. It is a 4-win dually, just like myself. I didn't bother checking when he lost. I feel pretty confident it's gold day on an Ignition Core run. Rocket Launcher. Oh, Rocket Launcher is not great past the coat for like just like couple of days. He also has no acceleration on Plasma Grenade. I believe I'm favored, but he does have a random Zorka, which is a little bit rough for me. I guess I'm losing, actually. How much damage was that from a non-burn? Jesus, 61. I was surprised I lost. I was like, yeah, it's half my health from straight damage. My burn output is so much higher than his. This dude was running a knee brace earlier, right? We're the same level, and he has literally 800 more health than me. He ran silver knee brace for 4 days. I didn't lose because his version was better. I lost because his version had a knee brace earlier. I was shocked. Yeah, if we had the same health, I'd deal 400 overkill before I go down. Unfortunate, man. That's rough. Day 6 through 8 is when knee brace has had like the most impact on the outcome of fights. All right, Pole. Let's see it. Give me the 3D printer. I've been wanting to cook. Oh my God, it's finally happened. I just have to sell this garbage, right? First aid is still my fastest item. I'd much rather have an Uzi at this point. He's going to use the metronome to haste the 3D printer, which will turn into 3 copies of Crude Tools. We cannot run tech items, so we obviously just sell the GPU and the battery, buy the 3D printer. Now, what's the rest of the build supposed to be? Because this part's completely locked in, short of like first aid and becoming an Uzi, which is obviously better. I mean, Omega Ray Firefly's fine. We're probably better off running the plasma grenade. Are we? I'm just going to take this into the fight. Like, obviously, I have good tools over here. I'm just going to use this in the monster fight and see how it does. Oh, Curio, you finally showed up. I kind of think I'm in a spot where I don't much care for her slow duration on plasma grenade. Maybe that's silly. Like, I don't know what the final parts of this board are supposed to be. I feel like having Omega Ray to make the core scale tremendously faster is like really, really powerful. And after that, the last item slot is like just base speed plasma grenade or something. There's no shot it's ever the soldering iron. That's not going to matter because I'm not able to fit Hamlet or anything other here, right? Like this is eventually going to be an Uzi, just the fastest item I can put there. I'll take Pin FT. I don't really care. I've got to think slow my opponent's whole board is probably the best thing I can be doing, which means it's probably still worth going to Curio. Is your name Curio? Yeah. I get Curio and Orion mixed up all the time. So if I sell 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, go to 7, I can buy the chimeric egg. Oh, that was a lot of ammo on that Kirnola. That was sad to say. I can buy the chimeric egg and roll. Well, it's a lot of haste on the rocket boots now. That's neat. I don't believe I'd ever run any of these. I would rather buff the haste duration on this metronome because that haste is going to carry over entirely into whatever comes out of the 3D printer. But yeah, I was really hoping to buff this thing up a little bit. For positioning, do I even want to scale the burn on this? It's probably a net benefit. Oh, that's certainly not what I wanted from this door, though. It does get charged by 4 copies of Crude Tools, which will all be hasted initially. But I'm just going to go for the Bonk guy instead, because Bonk is arguably better than anything Radiant Corsair is giving me in the first place. Right? Like, I think if I knew I beat Radiant Corsair, I would click on him. But because I am self-burning and scaling my own self-burn, and I've never actually been in a mid-game position with this build before, yeah, like, this is actually somewhat fair still. We don't have this at Diamond going all super fast. There's not an Uzi hasting it immediately. The ignition, well, we were bonked in this fight, weren't we? That's true. 40 gold to make up for buying the 3D printer. Nice, nice, nice. Shield and slow, which I barely do. I guess I slow a lot, but I'd rather go gold tier skills, look for something like defense grid so I can get off the ground a bit. Obviously, I can take 4 burn, but I have bigger dreams than that. I have no vehicles, no weapons, and you don't actually use 3D printer, I'm pretty sure. With Quicksilver, when it goes off, it doesn't count as a use, it just transforms itself. So I would assume that Net Launcher doesn't work here. For the sake of science, I'm going to pick it. But Quicksilver at least would not trigger that if it's coded the same way. Tinker's not really selling me anything I care about, so I'm gonna go Fenn's Big Bites.
Now this is health food.
Yeah, there's no reason not to take Vitality. I was like, do I want to buff first aid? And he's not sticking around, right? It's Andy. Perfect. Give me the Uzi. Andy, no, 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 no. That's not the one I need. Andy, please. I'm going to upgrade him because I have 40 gold all of a sudden. But I really specifically... Wait a second. Damn it. The Dinosaur is enabled by the 3D printer once it turns into tools, but it needs to be enabled before the 3D printer is the problem. which means there's no point buying, so we roll and miss the Uzi again. Now, I think for day 7, this is crazy, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. With Gorgon skill, I have to imagine we're safe, right?
But if you insist,
A crazy weapon Vanessa can burn me down stupidly fast, but Diamond Sea Dog this early, that's going to suck. His scaling is just Mantis Shrimp at silver. Unfortunately, it managed to slow the 3D printer right before it went off, so my burn scaling's pretty fucked there. Although it looks like we're still okay. Yeah.
defeat does not defeat
All right,
me.
nice. 2-second core. Apparently I miscounted. So when this goes to diamond, it is 1-second core. For some reason, I thought it was only 1 second guaranteed if you had a V core, but I'm wrong. Well, that makes this seem a lot better. Let's see if we can't find the dually skill vendor or a scrap metal to go to the moon. I definitely prefer to have an Uzi, right? Uzi goes off at 2, haste this for 3. And then this will finish at 3.5 and everything will have 1.5 seconds of haste. So either way, I'm not getting a second use of haste, but it's still increasing my startup time, or decreasing my startup time rather, from 4.5 seconds to enable the cooldown reduction to 3.5, which is not actually the biggest deal, but it is almost certainly better. I can also just take 160 permanent max health, which like does kind of meaningfully affect my chance of living right now. I think the Uzi's just decidedly better though.
Taking the first step
Huh.
toward good taste.
Is there a world where I can have 5 crude tools? I mean, actually, yes. Actually, yes. I just remove everything here. I just run Crude Tools hologram projector 3D printer, cut these items entirely, get down to 1 second. I'm floating this. It's a crazy, crazy item.
Come in small boxes.
Now, coolant I don't really know about. I don't think that one's very likely. Yeah, I think we're preferring to keep the plasma grenade there. And still nothing. Kina, what are we looking for? Scrap metal for sure, right?
Cast aside your deathstrument.
Scrap metal just this once. Come on. Oh.
You're not
Who could have seen this
ready
coming?
to accept the light. And that's
When you slow charging out in 1 second, seems pretty all right considering this goes off after the core is reduced to 2-second cooldown. But I can also just go for the higher chance of cooldown reduction, which is obviously very good as well. I genuinely think the feather from the rock is better than thick hide here because I don't actually care about this plasma grenade. It hasn't had its slow duration buffed. It's not really important to me. I can easily see the item changing. Yeah, the burn output's just really good, isn't it? 400 burn at about 6 seconds or so. And it's ramping up tremendously. Well, if I ever get crit chance, that'll be pretty sick. Right now I have 5% on the core, so it's not exactly happening just yet. I was hoping to get the bootleg wing, but oh well. Sell friend items, huh? Which friend item would I care about? You know, I could just scale the Omega Ray instead of scaling the self burn. That's arguably much, much better, isn't it? I'm gonna go with that. Anyway, what do I actually want from Tinker? Nothing. Let's get our gold chocolate bars in. I have no weapon to buff here, so not that I want to give up my health anyway. We go to metal, we look for scrap metal because it's completely insane.
All
I want to buy a satcom. Normally, I'm pretty against gold satcom. I'm like, you're spending 16 gold to generate 4 gold a day. It takes so long to pay off. This situation where I've got the money for it, it's the last hour of a day, so it's not nearly as much of an investment. If I buy this and see diamond scrap metal on the next page, I will hate myself for the rest of my life. So, no. Even now, I can find the argument against it. Well, toss these chocolate bars and go into my PvP fight. Again, feeling decently favored. I wonder if there's ever a plasma rifle angle here. Not at silver. Like, yeah, the core gets stupidly fast, but the core just kills them. You don't need another scaler. This dually has died, which can be terrifying because, you know, Obsidian enchant specifically. Every other enchant in the game is basically fine, and then there's Obsidian. Weaponized core. What was the enchant? He's 3D printing plasma grenades to try to kill me with power drill at 11 seconds. Boy, howdy, am I faster than that. We're not getting to 11 seconds, where I thought we were. We got surprisingly close to 11 seconds. I do like the restorative Hamlet, and was this a second Hamlet initially, or was it the hologram projector? It is actually just straight up Hamlet, dude. So weaponized core and then 4 plasma grenades with 2 Hamlets. I also quite like the drill to try to charge this a little bit. This is a really cool build. Obviously, restorative is not quite the enchant you want to see. I don't know. Maybe it is. His build's really slow. Maybe it is the enchant you want to say. But I'm stupidly fast. Is there a world where you're supposed to upgrade 3D printer for startup time? Maybe if I had the Uzi, I would. Because then I could get the haste onto it anyway, but I like that these things are actually hasted and going off. And he can sell me an Uzi. He can sell me fiber optics, which doesn't really matter at all. Actually, it's not playable. This combo doesn't allow fiber optics. God, Andy's a lot worse, and the only item I care about is Uzi, isn't he? I'm gonna go Pearl here. There's just plenty of good gold options. There's gonna be weird things available that I wasn't thinking of. Just a hard dupe on Crude Tools would also be pretty good. Marbles are funny. I certainly have a very fast item to charge them with, but I just don't care. Do I just take Signet Ring for max health? It's not even clearly bad. I either want something interesting enough to play, something that scales me like a feather, or just a huge pile of cash. Signet Ring isn't quite enough. Heavy Tesla Coil or Dino Saddle at Diamond. I don't think I run Dino Saddle, but looking at this, if I were willing to just start up at 5 seconds, the Dino Saddle to multicast the core at 1 second is pretty funny. This is also a good time to dip out for gold, so I'm going to take the Dino Saddle. Not really expecting to play it, but like there's a chance. Kina, come on, help me out.
With no weapons?
Hey!
Use that for the
We don't even really care about getting the cooldown reduction on the core, do we? Because, like, theoretically, there's no difference in a 5-second cooldown and a 4-second cooldown because it just goes to 1 second either way, right? It's just that selling scrap metal now gives me so much more burn scaling and gets me down to 1 second as well. I know that I get like one more slightly faster activation at the start by getting this to diamond. I think it doesn't matter though. I will roll though, looking for, you know, other upgrades, whatever they may be. If I get first aid into diamond, I never have to see him again. Okay, I'm gonna sell the scrap metal. I'm pretty convinced it's the right thing to do anyway.
feel our energies resonating.
That is a 5-second core that goes down 3 more seconds. Oh, did I could have sworn it was 2 seconds in a previous fight. Cooldown reduction isn't very effective. I'll blood read captain here. I have no weapons. That definitely makes me want to go Foundation Revenant then for the extra experience and keep trying to push health. My build does have a tiny bit of startup time that I had not yet managed to negate, so yeah, I wouldn't have done the upgrade if I had thought this goes down to 2 seconds instead of 1 second. No, it goes down to 1 second. How's it going from 4.9 to 1? I don't get it. It's 1 each and I'm generating 3. This took me an embarrassingly long time to figure out. I was like, if I'm generating 3 more Crude Tools, why am I going from 5 to 1? It's because the first Crude Tools isn't active until the 3D printer transforms and stops being a tech item. That's why. So the ignition core is actually slower at the start because of the 3D printer. That's what's happening. Cool, cool, cool. We're fine. Purifying Flame. When you gain regen and burn out, I'm against 2 burn for the bite. Sounds good, but like I don't gain regen and my Grandmaster is really good right now, so no. Turbo's good in that it hastes everything literally for the entire fight, and it makes my opponents angrier. It's slightly less good than it would normally be because the cooldown and ignition core is already at 1 second, but I don't think giving it poison scaling really matters that much. I'm gonna take Turbo. It'll speed up everything that's charging the ignition core in a massive way. It'll also mean that I'm veritably immune to slow, which is kind of a big deal. Sells items, temp boost. I can't run a battery. I'm still really looking for that Uzi. I would really like to get that thing in so that if this goes to diamond, I'll still get the haste before it goes off. Wait, no. Yeah, hold up. I'm really torn between, is it more important to haste my whole board at 5 seconds by doing this? Or is it more important to have this transform at 4.5 seconds by doing this? I kind of like this more. It just looks really stupid. They both look really stupid. It's got to be the case no matter what. I'm going to go with this. When this gets to diamond, we can do something else. I've only got 11 gold. I have a good chunk I can liquidate, but like, I don't really want to go to JJ here. I'm going to take the extra health. If I sold, I could easily afford an upgraded 3D printer. Let's go. Come on, Paul, do it. Come on. No. Oh, sell the chocolate bars anyway. Let's go see if our day 9 opponent's completely cracked. It is a Mac that's almost died. That's exactly what you want to see. That is maybe one of the opponents I am happiest to go up against at any point in the game. Oh, it's a fully assembled magic carpet build. I don't know. I'm pretty fucked up. I might still be able to do it, but that is a terrifying thing. It's also pretty vulnerable to slow, though, so... Oh, Rigged is hasting this anyway. The metronome doesn't even matter here.
I have no pride.
Oh, I'm really fucked up. I'm, like, not even a little bit okay. That dude didn't even get the cooldown down to 1 second. He had just barely started activating. That was 1,300 burn in, like, 1 second or something. So, neat to realize, with the Turbo Plasma Grenade and Rigged, at 4 seconds, everything gets haste, and then at 5 seconds, everything gains haste forever. So the metronome actually does nothing now that we have the turbo enchant. It wasn't doing very much before either, to be honest, but it was hasting all the crude tools for a while. It just no longer is necessary to do that. JJ, can you sell me something else? Like an Uzi is just a straight up upgrade. An Uzi would actually give me haste so early on this that it would matter. Not really sure what I'm looking for, to be honest with you. Not an upgrade on the haste duration. It's already diamond effectively. I put 2 rocket boots into this thing. What's even the point? In what conceivable world could the additional haste there matter? No. If middle sells me a scrap metal, it's useless. If middle sells me a diamond scrap metal, it's actually still useless. I'm gonna take temp health to make sure I don't get blown up before I blow them up. Sorry, Arkin, you don't stand a chance. I would really like to get unwavering because of how frequently I'm activating items. It's just constant. So having that going off nearly every internal cooldown would be very good. Yeah. Every every 2 seconds, because they're permanently hasted, we're charging the core 6 seconds with a 1 second cooldown. That seems good. That's funny. I mean, unironically, it's not even clearly bad, right? Like, just do that. If they get me to half health, I 3D print and then kill them. If I 3D print first, I definitely kill them. I don't even think it's necessarily bad is the hilarious thing. I would like to have a Rigged go off and be a little bit faster than this, though. And I'm losing my full board haste by doing it, so I do think it's worse. And I've recently learned not to play cute things just because you can win with them. I have to win at least on day 12. I'm already diamond, so duty skills are a lot worse than they would normally be, but these two also don't do much, do they? I guess slow skills for slow crit is all right. I can also get the one friend cooldown reduction skill to get first aid in just a little bit faster. I'm looking for specifically slow crit, but like if this is burning, I win. So I'm gonna go Simon instead. Oh, that's not the one I thought it was. I thought that was the one where you use the core freeze. It's coming in at silver tier. I think Searing Flames might be an inconsequential amount of burn scaling in the grand scheme of things. We're gonna go buddy system, get this going off ever so slightly faster. We have cash. We have got the Eclipse to sell, so yeah, we go to Kina. We're really looking to upgrade this 3D printer. Diamond bunker, huh? It would be really, really funny with a shielded 3D printer, but no thanks. That's about how I expected the store to go. Experience versus pole. If I click pole, I might upgrade my 3D printer, which is neat. But I'm guaranteed to do that at level 13 anyway if I hit 13 tomorrow. I'm currently not on pace to do that, so I click Shrouded Figure.
The Bazaar is
It is a legend Dooley, slightly worse win rate than me. He's got his death enchant. That is scary, but I think I might be scarier. I mean, I'm one game away from being him, right? Well, maybe one death as well. Actually, no, if I lose this, I'm still fine. Null Frost Altar? Bitch, I don't freeze. I'm just glad to hear you aren't freezing me. The permanent slow on my board happened a little bit early for my taste. I might still lose. Yeah, I'm dead. The damage scaling and speed on the drill is just insane. So he had Uzi, Turbo Metronome, Battery into the grenade. Yeah, that's a 3-second trigger on a grenade that gave him 100% crit chance. Double Uzi dupe and Null Frost. That is so fast. I imagine whatever his previous build was, I kill him because it does not scale nearly that fucking effectively. But yeah, that is a 3-second board-wide slowing because I never found that Uzi first aid and just wasn't able to get us off in time. Still nothing.
If you want cheap.
Looking for loot items, hoping to not hit stuff like that several more times consecutively. This is actually a 3D printer's angle for the wing. Just make this activate as quickly as possible. We're not running the Eclipse, I'm selling it now. What can Orion sell me? He can upgrade my crude tools so it goes off at 4 seconds. Ah, that's still nice.
A bad craftsman blames his tool. A good one.
That's what I expected him to give me. -6 gold.
Maybe next time.
Do I beat Frost Street Champion? I'm not leveling up either way. Also, probably not. I activate one item to win. So let's go fight literally anything else. I did not appreciate that man had duped Uzis when I thought it was favored at the start. I was like, oh yeah, Null Frost Ultra, it's gonna make the drill faster, it's gonna be some damage scaling. The double Uzi was pretty problematic though. As was the deadly enchant on that grenade. Just full crit chance, 3 seconds, slow your opponent forever. His grenade's doing a little bit more than mine. Hey, Kina, you want to not sell anything useful again?
Not war.
Yeah. At least I never have to see a hologram projector again.
What you needed.
JJ versus Pearl. I go to Pearl looking specifically for like PNFT, Uzi, some broken enchant, or cooldown reduction.
Where shall we start?
So far, nothing. At 44 gold and 4 gold rolls, we're willing to bail for like really big gold at this point. And now for even moderate gold, we're willing to bail. Think I have to bail at this point. At 6 gold rolls, how much did I spend? 21 gold, I'm down 5 and got nothing. Damn shame.
Who were the people who left these?
It is another dually, presumably less fucked up than the previous dually though. I wonder if I beat the Null Frost guy if he hadn't died and gotten the deadly enchant. Not sure. He was so far ahead of me that I think it probably didn't matter. That's a very fast obsidian and a dupe. Jesus Christ, that crit is gonna be the death of me, isn't it? Yeah, I'm dead. He crit and Trollosaur 8 Crude Tools. That's an incredibly average result, isn't it? All right, I guess I'm not going 10 wins most of the time from here. Dude, that is so fucking unlucky. Give me the shield enchant, please.
Gold is nice.
He had to crit to eat before 3D printer goes off, I think. Oh, that sucks. I didn't even bother checking his crit chance. It's tilting enough without knowing the odds. I don't want to look at it and find out that it happens 1 in 10 fights. Going to go chocolate bars. I've got the cash. Health is what matters. Upgrade 3D printer to go off slightly faster. At which point this metronome is actually doing nothing.
Glory of Samaska. So, tell someone.
So what do I run instead of it? Let's see if I can get a direction here. That's not helpful. Goldie, how about a newsie, man?
Oh, you
No?
investments.
Unfortunate.
Typical. All browse, no buy.
I don't know that I beat Void Golem. At 4 seconds, this transforms, I kill him. Obviously, at 7 seconds, when these go up to 400 damage, it's terrifying, but I have self-scaling shield, and also those are never going to scale. I'm going to kill this guy before anything happens. Oh, am I wrong about that? I was wrong about that. The shield scaling's completely fucking insane now, by the way. I did not realize it was going to be that broken. I don't think Enter the Void is good for my build, actually. I think it's decidedly the worst thing that could possibly happen to me. I'm going to take 10% health here, be pretty happy with that. Mysterious Portal, chance to level up. It's fine. I've got so much gold that it's probably right. Since the metronome does nothing, I think I'm supposed to run Hologram Projector. It's better than Fiery Chris or Venomander. Give myself another Crude Tools or another Plasma Grenade or another First Aid or even another Omega Ray, right? And because of that, I'll have one more item to slow and freeze. Like the metronome actually does nothing now that this is going off at the same time as First Aid. Anyways, those all do nothing. I have no poison for the heavy blue beetle, so roll. It is not heavy. I can buy it. I had to quickly double check that she wasn't baiting me.
See it from every angle.
I am gonna be so sad when we don't go 10 wins with this. If it's Keg, I'm just dead, but they're on death's door.
I'm a bit of a
It doesn't really tell me what it is, just that they have a relevant enchant and a real build. Fiery Cannonade is pretty spooky. Shatter, not a lot of freeze. How bad is it? It's pretty fucking bad, but I have shield enchant, so we should be good. Yeah, we're fine.
like
I will say the 200 poison had me a little bit spooked at the end. I would really, really appreciate at any point getting an Uzi to start off 2 seconds faster, by the way. Haste and charge, freeze. I think there's nothing under haste and charge that helps me. I just need a faster item. Let's look for like diamond defense crit or something. I mean, sure, everything gets crit chance. That's neat. It's a lot of crit though. I have when you crit haste, which is then giving me haste. I have rigged. I have the turbo grenade, right? Here's the thing. I think if I'm going off and this is having an effect, I probably already went. Not necessarily, right? This could be causing crits while this is still like scaling up and giving me the defense scaling to live. I'm gonna take static acceleration. It's genuinely pretty good. I'm tempted to roll looking for specifically some form of cooldown reduction or some form of defense, but it's so likely to be worse than static XL, and I think it's actually good in a lot of circumstances. These are not small items. They cannot make me better. I need specifically Uzi. Nothing else really improves the build. I don't have unlimited gold. I should wait and try to sell at Barcoon. I think I saw Barcoon first store though. I have nothing from out of class, so Jack of all trades does nothing for me. I'm just gonna keep pushing experience though. Maybe I should have gone 4% CDR. Maybe that's more important. Yeah, I should have gone for 4% CDR off Lord of the Waste. I'm thinking about trying to make sure I'm level 16 at the end of tomorrow though. I guess that's not really the biggest deal though. The build's really good. It's just day 13, 14, nothing is safe, right? I would feel a lot better if I could find the temp shield after this fight. Gland is a little bit outscaled by the rest of the defenses in the build. All right, Deadly Duel. That's going to help us get to level 16 quickly. Maybe I should have gone JJ looking for Uzi instead, but like, Dooley has 125 items or something. Going to JJ for this 6 out of 125 at Uzi over guaranteed experience doesn't seem right. What's the crit chance get up to, by the way? 57% almost instantly. So yeah, that's doing numbers. That's a pretty good scaler. Toss those, grab the loot. Temp shield. Fiery enchant. Does fiery enchant do nothing? Like, actually, does fiery enchant do nothing? Apparel can sell me holsters. And if I got holsters, what would I do with it? I could run holsters metronome, drop the hologram projector. No, not really, right? Doesn't actually do anything because I would also need to drop a second item, and dropping turbo plasma grenade is not it at all. So I click fiery enchant here, and I guess I put it on 3D printer because that gets me the most fiery enchants and none of them really matter. I could put it on Omega Ray for like a bigger burst when it scales. But if I find something that cares about every time you burn, charge a shield item off of like Void Colossus tomorrow, then obviously I want the most burns over here. They're all bad. Like, none of these actually do anything. It seems crazy to look at a fiery enchant in an ignition core build and say it's bad, but absolutely it is. Ah, man. 9-win Vanessa on Death's Door. Just keg me now, man. Your legend rank, I am almost certain this implies forcing keg. It's day 13, man. Drill is not what I was expecting at all with Poppy Field. That shit's hype. I love this, man. Also, his build takes a second to kill me, so I should be okay. That does do a lot of poison with the Poppy Field, though. Is Toxic Flame involved in this? I can't see what's happening. I have 1,000 poison, which is a bit more than expected. What was scaling it? Yes, Toxic Flame was involved with this. That's what I was worried about. It turned into such a ridiculous DBC fight, I couldn't see what was happening. I was like, wait a second. If he has Toxic Flame with Incendiary Rounds, Drill, and Poppy Field, this could get really bad. And through all the nonsense, I couldn't see what's going on. There's also an Assault Focus in there. That dude's build is sick. That is one of the coolest drill builds I've ever seen. Shot glasses to start, heavy Incendiary Rounds, Fiery Drill, Poppy Field, Toxic Flame. I hope he went 10 wins. That's the sort of build where I bomb out at 8 or 9 all the time. I'm like, man, fuck the late game. Speaking of, I'm the problem now. I'm the guy making you say, man, fuck the late game. What is this? Ayla, please sell me an Uzi. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. You two can get out now. So our startup time is now 2 seconds to haste this, and it goes off at 2.9 seconds. That's tremendously better than 3.8. I feel much better about life. Jesus, took long enough. I would normally float an Uzi the entire game because of exactly this. I don't know what I'm looking for off of JJ. Like, none of these can do anything for my build. I could YOLO transform first aid and looking for... Okay, there's nothing he can transform into. There's actually not a small item I won't. So what I'm saying is this build is perfect. Well, yeah, I can't run any tech items. Like, maybe there's something better than an Omega Ray, but I could YOLO transform for Diamond Omega Ray for 1 more burn scaling. Just go to the shop and look for it. There's nothing that matters at either of these options. I can't run battery because, like, yeah, kind of limited on tech options here. We absolutely obliterate Vulcus Enforcer. I guess I should have thought if I needed anything from anyone. Yeah, I need Cryo Mastery from Vulcus Enforcer. There we go. Let's move. Just absolutely ridiculous build.
Disregard intel.
Oh, wait a second. Let me watch the replay. I think my metronome's facing the wrong way. Because when Rigged goes off with the Uzi, I get haste anyway, right? Well, it froze in a way where I couldn't see it. But, yeah, the Uzi's gonna go off. And then Rigged is gonna haste this anyway. I don't even need the metronome. But what I can do instead is put the metronome towards the plasma grenade to get better haste up time. This is much better. Or rather, to get this to go off faster. What does upgrading item do here? I believe the answer is literally nothing. It makes this Crude Tools have a 4-second cooldown instead of a 3-second. Let's look for Defense Grid instead. Defense Grid could genuinely save my life here. Well, maybe what we needed was even more burn scaling. I don't think we had enough. I have no poison items for this man to gloop up. Temp Shield, save me from the kegs, please. Pearl, I will spend literally all of my gold. Wait, hold up. The game does not go on for more than 4 seconds. I don't think I've ever won with Omega Ray. Strength Potion is almost certainly tremendously better, right? It means I have 100% crit chance until I finish scaling my crit chance to 100% with static acceleration, which is kind of nuts. But I think Omega Ray is honestly not much worse. Like, I'm getting crit chance scaling anyway immediately at 15 to start. It's going to be a couple of seconds between this going to the moon and Strength Potion actually activating. I don't think Strength Potion is actually better than a cooldown reduction. I think it's a pretty minor benefit. We can do better. And I want to check off Omega Ray. It doesn't do anything. It's just worse. I'd rather have more scaling. Freeze 1 item for 1 second at 7 seconds. Who cares? Oh, hey, it's the PenFT I was talking about. Have I won with PenFT? Let me check my spreadsheet. I don't think I have. I mean, I know I haven't. Fine.
That belongs in a museum.
I know I've won with Uzi. The card's insane. If I haven't, it's no problem to win with Uzi. PenFT is functionally the same as Uzi here. They're both just 2 seconds to trigger. That's all that matters. It's a pig. I could die instantly, but I scale up defensively very, very quickly and have 10,000 health. I think I am usually favored here. 8,000 health, nothing crazy. Silk Scarf, is there a fort? There's not a fort, there's not a lethargy. 35% crit chance, it goes off pretty fast. I think I'm okay, but I don't know that. Even if it crits? No! He has triple crit damage. It actually didn't matter either. I had to dodge a 1 in 3 to win, and I just couldn't fucking do it. Are you serious? He has triple crit damage and landed the 1 in 3 crit to win. Because I never got a single slow buff from Curio in the run. Dude, that is so unlucky. I cannot believe that. The spices go off right before it? Okay, maybe it didn't matter. Well, no, it obviously mattered, right? Unless it didn't crit, which it might not have because I wasn't thinking about spices at all. Well, no, spices didn't matter because he has the dog. Like, the dog ruins the spices. He shouldn't even be running dog. Dude's actively self-sabotaging the build by running this fucking dog, and it didn't matter. Oh, that breaks my heart, man. Crit for 30,000 damage on a 1 in 3. And it's only killing me in the first place. I think because of the triple damage. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it mattered. Dude, that's heartbreaking to watch. I lose to a 1 in 3 crit. There's no in combat scaling. Without the skill, does it kill me? No, I'm not at negative. I'm over negative 9,650. If he doesn't get foreboding wins, I live. If he doesn't crit, I win. If he doesn't get obsidian, I win. And I think most importantly, if at any fucking point Curio just sold me an additional slow, right? Like, we can see how quickly I start slowing him and how long it takes that claw to go off. Every additional slow from Curio is another second I have to burn him down. You know what? No, I don't think Curio would have fixed it. I think even if Curio had helped me here, I just had to dodge the 1 in 3. That's all it really came down into the end. He got foreboding wins, he got the 1 in 3. If neither had happened, I'm fine, right? If he doesn't crit, I obviously live. If he crits for 2/3 the damage, I live. If he doesn't get spices, I also live. Actually, no, the spices didn't matter because he mispositioned the dog. I will note, it's a little easier to be like, oh, it doesn't really matter. Like, foreboding winds didn't do anything here. He's running 4 item slots that may as well just be 4 random small items to improve his resistance to slow and freeze. Like, this is just wrong. These items suck. Oh man, it's so frustrating. This guy's blatantly, visibly misplaying the build. What's the dog doing, man? Yeah, sure, he hits for 2,500 most of the time. He's costing you 6,000 damage on the thing that actually fucking kills your opponent. Like, if he just removed the dog from the build, then foreboding winds would have done nothing and it wouldn't have mattered. It's so frustrating, man. It's so frustrating. I can just tank this if he doesn't get... I'll say it again. I've been saying it a lot recently. Obsidian's just a broken fucking enchantment. If this is fiery or toxic, the other 2 offensive enchantments that are supposed to be like analogous to it, this doesn't even come close to winning the fight. Well, actually, that's not true. He had so much shield. I felt like I was doing surprisingly little burn. Is it just that it all got purged like right as this went off and I didn't notice it? Like, in this fight, I felt surprisingly slow. I think that's just stress though, right? No, I'm still dealing a good amount of burn, dealing a ridiculous amount of shield scaling, going off nonstop. He hits... Oh no, I actually think I would have won with the plasma grenade slow. Looking at it again, when we die, all of these are about to trigger. That is 6 uses of the core, which scales up every time it does. It was already at 1,000 shield. And it's at 100% crit chance. When this goes off in less than a quarter of a second, I shield for 12,000. Dude, that fucking sucks. A single good Curio. And I was going to Curio to bank slow buffs before... Maybe if I hadn't bought FNFT, maybe I should have hard rolled looking for it. I wasn't thinking about the fact that my Turbo Plasma Grenade could be important and it had never been slow buffed. I should have kept rolling. That is potentially a throw on me. It's unlikely that I would have seen exactly a slow duration buff there, but I mean a cooldown reduction buff as well, right? There's like a couple of different things that Pearl could have given me that would have run the fight. Yeah, I should have kept rolling. It might be my fault, but I mean, my fault or not, it's 2/3 of the time I'm winning. Unfucking fortunate. A second before I shield for 12,000, he 1 in 3 crits me to win despite blatantly mispositioning the board. I do want to address real quickly that my board is mispositioned here, if anyone caught that. I'm positioning to get the haste faster on this Turbo Plasma Grenade, but it's going to haste itself and remain 100% haste uptime anyway. I don't need to like get haste going forward. It's just activating it sooner. So what is the value of hasting this? It's going to haste the core. That doesn't matter unless it's slowed. Haste the Omega Ray. That barely does anything. Haste this Crude Tools. I'm getting this haste off 1 second faster at the cost of haste. Like you can see that all 3 of these aren't hasted right after the transformation. I'm losing like half a second of haste uptime on 3 of my Crude Tools to get half a second of haste uptime on the other Crude Tool. These would have all activated right before I died if I had positioned the other way. Now, because of the internal cooldown limitation, that doesn't actually matter. I'd have gotten 2, maybe 3 activations of the core. Even if all 3 crit, I would have still died, unfortunately. But this is blatantly mispositioned. The much bigger mistake was the fact that I bought FNFT instead of rolling down looking for exactly the 5 or so items to give cooldown reduction and slow duration increase. But frankly, the biggest throw of all was simply not dodging the 1 in 3 triple damage obsidian crit on day 14. It's a sick build. 3D printer Crude Tools is a very, very strong thing with every single core, but especially with the self-scaling cores. With the core, you can use it to charge other win conditions. Obviously, Turbo Plasma Grenade's broken as hell. And usually you want to use Metronome and a 2-speed item to charge the 3D printer, basically. Not charge it, but haste it, same idea. But here, because I have rigged, I'm just doing it on something else to get the Plasma Grenade going off faster to haste the rest of my board. That is such an unfortunate final fight. Would have gone 10 wins there in a variety of different circumstances. I have no idea how that Dino fight went. I'm gonna have to watch that back in editing. That might be a fight where if I don't get crit, I win because dinos are super slow, but I'm going to say I probably lost that. Especially if that was before I had the shield enchant. I think I got the shield enchant after dying to him. Yeah, I think the dino fight was 100% lost. Just duped with Obsidian Dinosaur, super fucked up. Anyways, heartbreaking loss at the end of the Crusher Claw. Never got slow buffs on Turbo Plasma Grenade. Didn't get quite enough cooldown reduction. Should have kept rolling at Pearl instead of grabbing the Pen FT. But Pen FT is funny and cute, and I wanted to use it. And I figured I could spend another 20 to 60 seconds of my life rolling at Pearl and then leave with nothing. I'd rather just take the Pen FT. I think the majority of time rolling at Pearl results in the exact same outcome, but this is an Uzi. Also, rather funnily, had I found an Uzi earlier in the run, it would have had any cooldown reduction on it, and I wouldn't have vault the Pen FT and been able to keep rolling. So baited by the super late Uzi as well there. Cannot believe this didn't go 10. Super unfortunate to wind up on a 9 screen here. But I still think it was a sick run. I hope you enjoyed seeing it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. That does still put me into Legend, though. Despite not managing to go 10, puts me at 3289, which I guess means you come in at 500 and it's not tracked in the background. Seems like it should be one of those background tracking things. Like, there's no reason not to track it in the background, so I guess next season, what I'm going to do... Oh, it doesn't show it. It doesn't. I'm 3289 on both pages, not different numbers anymore. So I'm legend rank 3289. I have no ability to check what that means. Do I? Yeah, no, there's a hidden ranking system, but I can't actually look at my numbers in it. So I would assume this means I came in at 500 in the new ranking system. I'm kind of surprised you can't see what your number is there. But I was told by others that is how it works, and based on coming in this low, like, I don't feel like I've had a bunch of terrible games. I feel like I've had a lot of games that didn't go 10 wins, which is frustrating for me as a content creator, but I still feel like my average win rate is well above 7 on every hero. So I do think you just come in at 500, which means you come in probably towards the bottom of what's at Legend, because I think most Legend players are doing well. We'll see what I can get to do before the end of the season. How many days are left? The first Wednesday of next month is in exactly a week. Probably not going to get a high Legend finish this month. I might actually try to play for like any amount of ranking next month, I mean, but not this time. I'm just like, if I'm not getting to Legend on like the first or second weekend, I'm not going to care about the rank too much. But maybe it's something where it's much easier to grind through than it used to be, and it's like very heavily weighted towards win rate. We'll see how it works. Anyways, now I'm done for real. See you in the next one.